All right, and we are live, guys, and we are going to be having a bit of a discussion about what could be next for Pokemon Masters. Now, does anyone want to begin, or anyone have
I'll
it?
start. I didn't actually do the survey. I'm sorry if I'm talking over anybody, but I didn't do the survey. But I was curious what kinds of questions they had and what did y'all want to see coming up for Masters in the future.
I'll start. Oh yeah, no. Well, you go first, man. You go first.
Because the survey didn't look like it could hint at any future content. It was mainly asking about the players' preferences for, like, for example, a lot of the things that were discussed in Dev Letter 10, I think, were mentioned, such as do we want to create a system where there's a little less grinding in order to get units to level 120 and maxed, or if we want to have a stamina system, yes or no, stuff like that, mainly on the survey.
Do you feel
See,
like a stamina system would be good for the game, or do you feel like we should avoid that?
My personal opinion is a stamina system might not be the best idea. It would only be a good idea
Yeah,
if you.
but they didn't actually talk about stamina systems. We talked more about daily quests. They were going to change the normal courses to daily quests, basically.
Oh yeah.
Requests, yeah.
see, I think we don't know enough to criticize it. That's where I stand on the whole point of view. I don't think we have enough information right now to basically say that it's good, it's bad, it's whatever it is. I think if they are going to add something like a stamina system, they should really make sure that the stamina system benefits not only new players but old players. And a lot of the content in Pokemon Masters only really benefits new players nowadays. The old players really don't really get much from it, if you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
That one awards thing where I was like only for new players. I was like, okay, I couldn't.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, they did do that. But I think that's just because they're desperate for more new people to come in and experience it because
It's
maybe
true.
they think there's turnover. I don't know, but that's they're just desperate because people who are here we're going to be here for a while. They know that we're going to stay, so they're just trying to get as many people to come back as possible. So
But
that's probably why they're doing that.
I
I
don't.
agree. I think. Well, I don't think that's what they should do. I think they really do need to accommodate everyone. That everybody's happy, build a good player base, and everything. I think they're on their way to do that.
You,
Um,
you see, the problem is like when you first started Pokemon Masters, you had a massive opening. You had about 25 million, according to Forbes, which I'd say is a reputable source. And you also
Huge. Yeah.
had Pokemon YouTubers basically saying, if I could buy this sync player flat, I would have spent about $1,000 on the game easily. Like, but the fact is, I spent $100 and I got nothing for it. And
Yeah,
a
that is
lot of
good.
people watch this. Oh, sorry, Drizzle, you go, man.
Yeah, that is good, basically.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
in the same vein of it, like you've got games like I can start say Knights Chronicle or another gacha game, and I can be guaranteed something. Just I can guarantee starting with 5 star. I can guarantee starting with some equipment that's going to help me in the long run. I can just there's something there that you can guarantee starting with. Like what?
yeah. If you, we don't even have a PD system yet.
Yeah, but what happens if like a new player starts and everyone's talking about, oh, I've got a U Butte Red or I've got a U Butte Steven, and they're just like, well, I need to rely on getting a 3 out of 5 Guzma. Like, how impossible is that? That's when it did come out, that was a 1% chance, and you had to get 3 of them. It's just,
Yeah, the odds were not were not good for that banner at all.
yeah, it's just not friendly towards new players. Like they're trying to make it friendly towards new players, but if you're trying to make something friendly towards new players, you have to have a system in place that is already friendly towards new players.
I mean, the new players can get a bunch of sync pairs from the story.
Hmm. I would argue that if you're going to rely on Sylveon to defeat Battle Villa, you really, yeah, gonna have
I
a
mean,
tough time.
they could make the Welfares, the legendary Pokemon, like always available to everyone. I think that could be useful to new players like Mewtwo.
That is a good point. They do let you have the legendary
Yeah,
for
but they've
free.
kind of drawn back on that, haven't they? They've kind of,
Have they?
yeah, they've stopped giving us 20 out of 20, 5 out of 5.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, it's pointless at this point. Like, what are we doing? Like, as a player base, they're glass half empty, glass half full type thing. Like, they're not giving us anything to really work with other than, oh, spend all of the gems that we give you for free or take a chance and get more gems. Basically,
There.
gamble.
I don't think that is a serious problem at all. Like, if you go as example, they don't give you a Merlin or a Scadi for new players. New
Mm.
players start with the low heritage characters, the one is giving the story, and that is it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why in Pokemon Masters it should be different?
Wait, I think at the same time though, we do need to credit that like on a month-to-month basis, we get about 17,000, if I'm correct, gems.
And that's around
Month.
$200 worth of free currency. So I just, yeah.
So
Oh,
like
mm.
that way, at least they do accommodate to those that are not like pay to win. I think.
And this is my first gotcha, so I don't know how much it's monetized. But for Pokemon Masters, only thing they really can monetize are the sync pairs. So it would make sense that the sync pairs have to be very
Mm.
expensive in order to pull. That's the only thing you're not paying for the amount of times you can run through a course. So it's just a lot different.
I
Now,
know.
if they change that, maybe they could reduce the amount of turns it would take to require to pull a sync pair. You have to pay to actually go through a course a few times, but not sure how it is with other gotchas.
With other gachas, it's basically you get the character, it's one and done. The character's fully unlocked, the skills is fully unlocked, everything's good to go. And if you just want little upgrades, so with sync grids, it's not little upgrades, it's completely different skills you're getting with the character. So you can't even argue that you're just getting an upgrade to stats or you're just getting an upgrade to what you already have. Like, it's completely different skills that you're getting.
What you're saying is that since the sync grids were introduced, that everything has kind of shifted.
Yeah, completely. Like with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which is a game that a lot of people cite as having one of the worst gotchas because it's a 2% rate for the featured pair, and you need about two of the featured pair. Well, look at Pokemon Masters. It's a 2% rate for the featured pair, and you need three of the featured pair to actually make it work. It's it's kind of ludicrous. And it's not like I can go into the shop and buy myself a move candy just to alleviate, just to have something guaranteed, because otherwise I'm just paying for luck. Like people are having, they're, they're happy to have a go at all these whales. They're happy to like just go, oh yeah, you're a you're a whale, you get more chances in that. But it's like no, like I'm just paying for luck. There's nothing concrete I'm getting. Like even then, I'm happy to pay more if I'm just gonna get like even like a lucky cookie or one lucky scroll, just something like concrete for my bloody money. If you get what I mean.
I mean, that is the scout system. There, you for 40k gems, you can get a guaranteed sync.
But the problem is, a lot of gacha games, when you pull the featured pair, they have a way to actually, they'll give you a paid way to just make that featured pair optimal, and it won't be a lot of money. It'll be about $50 or whatever. But that paid pair, after that you've pulled them and you spent the money, you have to spend no resources, no anything like that. You just pay, and it's just completely out of the box, gonna work for you.
I mean, if you go again, you put the character and everything else on the player. They need to level it up, level skills, get more far, a lot of things.
Mm.
And it is working.
The and a lot of and there was a comment today on the Reddit post about monetizing the game, and they're like, well, with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius and stuff like that, they monetize the game and all of that, but they give you a lot. They give you a lot for like a 10k gems worth for Pokemon Masters, which would be 10,000 lapis in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. They give you literally 3 5 stars. They give you a choice to make any 5 star in a game completely, totally viable as a 7 star, even limited pairs. They give you just a crap ton of like summons, like 30 summons sort of thing. And you're looking at these numbers in these other games and you're like, why can't Pokemon Masters do something similar? Why can't they give you something guaranteed for what you're paying? And these you can pay and get this package or this bundle with free gems, with free lapis. So it's like, Pokemon Masters DNA, what are you doing? And you're looking at a game that,
sounds like all stuff that needs to go in like the survey recommendations.
yeah, and you're looking at a game that's pulling in so much money, man. Like, holy crap.
Pokemon Masters?
No, Pokemon Masters is pulling in bloody nothing. They're pulling in 500 400 grand a month, which is pitiful. And then you go back to the point of like, if you made a sync pair, like just the first pull of a sync pair, $5 USD, and you had about 200,000 people buy that $5 sync pair sort of thing, and you had to pull the other 2 duplicates through the gacha, but you could just pay for it flat straight away. You would be pulling in quadruple the amount of profits that you are right now. It's just, there's so many things you can do, and of course there's more than 200,000 people in Japan that are playing Pokemon Masters. It's a Pokemon branded thing, and it is Japan. Like, Pokemon in Japan is absolutely horrendously popular.
The problem with Pokemon Masters isn't about the monetization. The game itself isn't fun. That is a major problem you should see. The story is bad. The characters are really bland. The game you play is totally boring, at least for me. Like, the game should be fun and then monetize.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
But how do you monetize something, or how do you even begin to monetize something that, in my opinion, it's literally all about, say you're playing the Pokemon Masters game or whatever, you're free to play sync pairs, have no real cool gimmicks, nothing like that. And you have to pull a 3 out of 5 wallet, so you have to get lucky on 2% rate 3 times to actually have any fun with the game. Like, how do you monetize, or how do you even begin to fix something like that?
I think, or what Drassel was saying, or no, go ahead.
Like, I'm completely free to play and I have basically 70% of the characters in the game. It's not hard to get characters.
I would argue you have to get 3 out of 5 to get any enjoyment out of the game. I don't see what's fun about pressing a button twice and then pressing a button another 2 times and just, nothing. It's fun for me when like Troublemaker 1 procs, and when you've got like your Masquerain out there, and when all those skills and your grid of procking and stuff like that. And you got your bloody Mew, and it's like, oh, Agile Entry 2's procced, or oh my god, Shifty Striker 2's procced. Like, oh Christ, this battle's actually getting quite good. Like, that's when it's fun for me. And if that's locked behind a 3 out of 5 grid, then what do you do?
It's also possible to kind of restructure the way that single player and co-op battles are done in the game in order to make it so that it is more satisfying. So then it would be less of a problem of I can't get this like 3 out of 5 unit, or this unit as a 3 out of 5 unit, or and more of a how can we like look at the gameplay of the game and what's the issues with that. That's my personal opinion, but I see like there's multiple ways to look at it. Of course, it's really interesting.
I mean, take
Could
it.
be-
Oh,
Sorry, Wall.
oh, yeah.
Couldn't there be like a way to train your sync pair?
Oh, that sounds.
Level it up that way?
That sounds
Not
really
level-
interesting.
Not level up, but you know what I mean. Like level up their sync level.
Well, essentially, right now the only mechanic is pull dupes of a. If it's a gotcha obtainable unit, then pull multiple of those that unit, or it would be up to like 5-star striker candies, which are very not available right now. I think down the line they might be more available, but right now we only have like one copy of a 5-star striker candy, which most of us have either used on like Red Cynthia or like various other like 5 stars, and then we have like a 3-star and 4-star striker candy, and that's it.
But I'm.
That is not.
But it's.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Wally. Sorry.
Mistake actually. I think the tick grid, like they basically pick the character. If you don't have the tick grid, the character is complete. It is basically that right now. It's not the extension of the character. It is basically the character, the tick grid.
You see, I'm a little bit on the fence with all of this because all I can think about is the fact that so we have to log in and do like our daily tickets and stuff like that, and then I'm like, well, hang on just a second, like if I've earned just under 300 daily tickets in 8 months of gameplay, of logging in and stuff like that, why the hell isn't a 5-star strike bloody candy 100 tickets or something like that? Like,
Oh, yeah, that would be a really good.
yeah, it's so why aren't we working towards something? There's nothing that we're working towards. There's no reason why we should be logging into the game every day other than complete Battle Villa and farm sync orbs, and we can't even farm sync orbs, so what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
they've taken the entire formula of Pokemon Masters and turned it on its head. It's like, what are we even doing anymore? And then to even make it worse, they even put bloody fuel to the fire. I've got these this point of view where they're always like, oh, how are you enjoying this sync pair? Like, oh my god, like this sync pair, like, do you have it yet and stuff like that? And it's like, there's no bloody way I can have this sync pair because it's a 2% chance, and I'm not going to waste my 2% chance with like 8,000 gems when I can spend that on a Pokefair. Even a whale just wants to spend on a Pokefair because at least you're gonna get more for what you get given. It's ludicrous.
At the same time, though, I feel like DNA gets a lot of profit when it comes to like Pokehero banners. So.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
think that's true.
But if you're gonna do Pokefair, and you're gonna realize, oh, people are spending heaps on Pokefair, why not make the Pokefair a 4% chance for the featured unit? So everyone in the game can, quote unquote, what they say, enjoy the game, have fun and whatnot. There are a lot of gacha games that actually do a 4% featured unit, like SOARS and whatnot, when they're trying to do a special banner, like 1.5 times the rate. Why not do that and then make 5 stars a flat 10%. So doesn't matter what banner you're pulling on, you'll pull on any banner.
Yeah, I think the Pokémon already is bad because you won't pull for the character you want. You will pull in the fair. That is, I mean, that's a bad decision. They should have all the hates equal to everyone, everything.
I mean, look at Dragalia Lost. You pull on the Gala banner and you can even get that broken Gala Cleo unit. Like it's seriously there. There's ways that you can make that Poke Fair more worth it. You could have Steven on the banner. But then we've got like ideas, just stupid ideas of putting like 60 plus 5 stars in a 10% bloody banner. Like, what are you doing? Like, and then you look at something like Fire Emblem Heroes that's recently revamped the summoning system, and that's like, okay, 10 units, 10 units in the entire banner that's 5 star. 40 summons, you get the unit that you want. Like, simple, easy. You can you can do it. Like, it's
If you talk about reducing the scope points to 40k, 20k instead of 40k, or something.
it's 40k gems to get you get to guaranteed. But then you can get the universal scout system and stuff like that. So it's like, why aren't you implementing these things that work in other gacha games and make them a ton of money? I'm talking billions.
Is in the first year, in the first year lifespan. The game is not only upgrade to that gacha hates or whatever in their anniversaries or things like that.
But the reason why Pokemon Masters was even created to be a gacha game was Fire Emblem Heroes. They were following in Fire Emblem Heroes' footsteps because that made bank. That's what Nintendo said. Originally, it was going to be a lot like Magikarp Jump, but they're like, oh, Fire Emblem Heroes makes a lot of money. So why are they taking tips from, say, Dragalia Lost or Fire Emblem Heroes? What's going on? What's DNA considering?
I think the game, its release, it was more of an easy cash grab, and then they will stop working on it, but they decided to make it a full game because everything is so handled, like it's so non-professional the game.
Mm,
Have that as a
I would agree with you.
At
It's
the
not.
same time,
Yeah, go on, Wally.
go ahead. Wait, I was in that case. I was just gonna say at the same time we don't know up for the next month's update, and I think that there could be some key implemented features could change things. I'm optimistic about that, but I'm not sure yet. Obviously, because we haven't seen the data mine. The data mine might not come out in like the next few days, maybe even in hours. But yeah, I think we need to see what's up for the next month before we like conclusions like that.
I agree with that.
But there's a lot of people out there that are basically saying that, oh, Pokemon Masters is going to shut down and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't think they're going to shut down. I think they're desperate. I think they're very desperate to turn things around. I honestly don't think. I think when it comes to Pokemon Masters, this is purely a speculation. However, I think that you have the developers side that are just very, very, very knowledgeable about Pokemon. They love Pokemon to bits. You can see it in the work that they do in the game. Like, they're literally bringing up this old tidbits of lore everywhere. Like, and I'm sure Drasil can actually atone to the fact that they actually are bringing up all this lore. Like, but at the same time, I think you have the corporate side that are pushing towards this. Oh, can we just get a little bit of money, a little bit more money out of these people? Can we just get them to pull 3 out of 5 sort of thing? And it's just like, the developers don't suit the corporation. That's my
Tell
viewpoint.
you what would make it to get my money. But what I think they really could and should do is like create a system where you can interchange the trainers with the egg Pokemon that they're going to incorporate into the game. I know that's probably going to take a lot of work and it's going to be a big overhaul. That's probably going to be the most effective way to monetize this is if they can actually create more sync pairs, and if they want to do it individually and create a sync pair, that's great. I think
But they
That,
do.
that could be really good.
is if they create a system where you can have a trainer that has maybe an item or a trainer move and is compatible with a Pokemon that has a few abilities and moves, and then if you can interchange that, basically maybe have, I don't know, maybe red with a Pikachu or blue with Alakazam. I don't know, but just have something where you could interchange that. It's going to create a lot more competitiveness, a lot more strategies, and you can really do a lot with that.
See,
People are going to want to spend a lot more money on eggs and pulling for trainers if they can are able to do that.
they use a system like that in their other game. They use a system like that in Mario Kart Tour, where they literally just have you have the cart, you have a driver, and then you have the glider. The glider is the passive. The cart is basically I would say the trainer, and the driver is the Pokemon sort of thing. So you mix and match all those things together, and then you get all these different weird, wonderful combinations. So I don't understand why they just didn't make trainers and Pokemon interchangeable from the very beginning and just did away with sync pairs.
I'm against that because the entire concept of sync pair is about a trainer and it is ace Pokemon. It's bounded Pokemon. Like,
Except we have alternate pairs though.
yeah,
Mm.
you get, but
In a
still,
sense, yeah.
they are from the trainer. Like, I mean, it is kind of weird because some trainers aren't using the races, they are using baby versions of them like Hilbert. But yeah, but I think the concept of sync pairs is better if the character and the Pokemon is locked between themselves.
Mm. I
No,
The
I
trainer could have
definitely,
the
yeah.
same Pokemon, but the trainer could have different Pokemon, but not interchangeable with the other trainer.
Yeah, and also to add on to that, I think there's a huge nostalgia value that is in the concept of sync pairs because if you have like the trainer, some like NPC or the actual like main character trainer in various different Pokemon games, you take that trainer and you link it with this trainer Pokemon and consider that as a single unit that can be summonable via like either free to play means or gacha means. That's a very effective way to draw out nostalgia from the Pokemon fan base. I think a lot of us have like sync pairs out, but we're like, oh wow,
oh
this is
oh
like
yeah.
really nostalgic sync pair.
Oh man, like I fell straight into that trap because my first game ever was Pokemon Red. So when
Yeah.
and my first Pokemon ever was bloody Charizard. So when Red and Charizard came out, I ended up spending over I think it was close to $600 $400 AUD on bloody getting that sync pair. But
Uh,
it really hurt me not having a move candy there because I know in my heart of hearts if they had have offered say a bundle in the shop where oh you can get a 5-star strike move candy for about $100, I would have I would have seriously only ended up spending $100 on red. Because
I mean,
yeah, because
why you went for 5-5? You should just get it 1-5.
because my but my viewpoint was it's red. It's my favorite trainer ever. It needs to be at its peak basically. But if I had that move candy back then, I would have literally only spent $70 AUD because I got my first red on $70 AUD, and the rest of it was just well spend $400 to get literally 400 out of 400. And then going back even further, like I spent that the 400 AUD to get 400 out of 400, and I didn't get a single 5-star in about 37k gems. It was absolutely insane. And if they had have had a 5-star guaranteed every 10 times pull, I would have probably got red in that 5-star guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not very, the monetization in this game, the way that they're doing things, it's really, really not consumer friendly. The price of gems, completely not consumer friendly.
Yeah.
Gachas are consumer friendly. Gachas are made to exploit the players.
But some gachas are very consumer friendly. Like for example, like going back to Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, a couple of nights ago, that I got lucky on one pull. I got Sacred, not Sacred Shield, hallowed Aegis Charlotte, and I'm like, okay, well, I have all these gems, but if I spend say $37, I can get a mystical ice Laswell again, like guaranteed, and it's only for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. It's only a 10k step up, and you can choose a whatever you want, whatever character you want from the banner. So it's just, that's $37. That's $37, and I could get the character guaranteed. Just
So, if
seriously.
I'm hearing you correctly, Paul, you're saying that because there's not a sync pair package guarantees that you get at least one dupe of the sync pair, it's really frustrating to players.
Oh yeah,
what you're basically saying?
coming from a
Okay, that
whale,
makes sense.
it is extremely difficult. And then you go on to other games, like you go on to games like Crossing Void. You pay $60 in Crossing Void, you are guaranteed to get the featured limited pair. It's, or any pair for that matter. It's honestly, Pokemon Masters paying $400 Australian versus paying $30 and say review Starlight where you get your guaranteed 5-star stage girl. Same gacha rates. It's, they're very, very, very greedy. Extremely greedy. Like these other gachas, they're very balanced, I'd say. It's okay to want your money and all that, but just that much? Like, Christ. And it's not even $400 AUD. Had I have not got a red in about 15k gems, in which I barely scraped by anyway, I literally got the red on the last 300 gems of that 15k, and no 5 stars in between, mind you, I would have been sitting about $700 AUD to get a 3 out of 5 rating. Just absolutely ludicrous. It's...
The thing is, the gacha games that you mentioned also don't give out a lot of free-to-play gems.
Oh, no, they do. They do. Brave Exvius gives out about 10,000, 20,000 lapis a month. Review Starlight gives out they give out about 5,000 to about 6,000 star gems or whatever the hell they are. Like, these gacha games give out free currency, mind you. Like, it's not, Pokemon Masters gives out a lot more free currency, but if you don't have the luck, you are screwed. You are absolutely screwed. I mean, imagine you, Wally. Like, you went for your Wally, and you couldn't get him I remember you couldn't get him 3 out of 5 because you were scared. You were like, I've got 8,000 gems left. I'm not gonna risk this. Like, I'm happy with getting 2 out of 5. Like, that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, that happened. It ended up that I actually did use those 8,000, and after 8,000 did not pull an additional Wally. So for the first time ever, I ended up not being a free-to-play player, and I had this like iTunes gift card from like a recent birthday, and cashed in, what was it, the $10.99 package. Then finally got Wally through that. So that's one of the luckier stories. I think there are other like players that have like cashed into the game, and after like a lot of
There was
have still not gotten.
Oh my god, Wally, there was this one guy, and I feel for him. Like, I seriously feel for this dude. He went 67,000 gems without a single red apart from the guaranteed one.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
It's terrifying because they don't have that guaranteed 5-star. So what can you do? Like, you need to pull 3 duplicates at a 2% rate. 2% rate is already very low for a gacha. The lowest you can get is probably 0.57 for Summoner's War or like a Moonlight Summon on Epic 7, which is just stupid, but 1% is generally the hardcore gacha and 2% is oh yeah, less hardcore but still hardcore. But most gachas have a 4% or 5% 5-star rate.
What?
That's the rate that they go with. That's most gachas. And even then on their banners they have step up banners, and even then it's about the rate goes up to about 8%, 9% on a 5-star. So it's like, what are you doing, DNA? What are you doing? It's not a good look. Especially when you have Dragon Ball Legends out there and they are making a god awful amount of money, but they're making money because they are monetizing their game very smart. They're giving you a guaranteed 5-star every 1,000 pull, every 1,000 amount of their currency, which is the Chrono Stones. So it's just like they're literally doing something where they're giving you a 50% chance to get a guaranteed 5-star, which they call a sparkling, for 100 gems or 100 Chrono Stones. It's just like that sort of stuff really makes a difference. It really does. And these characters, these 5-stars or these sparkling units, they aren't trash units. These are the latest and greatest units. These are like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, bloody mythical Blue Evolution Super Saiyan God Vegeta. Like, it's just, these are very good units that they're doing this deal for. It's just like, what are you doing, Pokemon Masters? Like, there's no PvP. There's PvP in these other games. It's not like you could make the game pay to win because there is no PvP. So what are you doing?
Again, this isn't Pokémon Masters problem. Like, if you go again as example, it has one of the worst Hades in every game, and it's one of the ones who makes the most money. The relation between good gacha rates and being successful is blurry. You know what I mean?
But all these other gachas, Drasil, they are pulling in so much money because they are being smart about how they're doing things. They're being very intelligent. Like, I think there was just something crazy with Dragon Ball Legends when they introduced this 50% SP thing on the weekends. You literally had, I think it was close to about 200,000 people that day alone on the revenue. They got top grossing buying a $1.50 pack just to get this SP. And these are free-to-play players that basically said, I'm never going to spend anything in a mobile game. You've got to make it irresistible. You've got to make it actually make sense.
You think the game should be fun?
But
No, same here.
If the game was fun, I would be okay using this story free characters. But the game isn't fun.
But the game not being fun just comes from the 3 out of 5 thing, because if I pull a unit, I can't like look at say old mate Spoofy in the Discord. Here's a new player. He gets a 1 out of 5 Cynthia. Oh my god, that's awesome! Like, he's so excited, and then it goes to use Cynthia in Battleville, and she's bloody useless. She needs a 3 out of 5. It's like DNA. These are.
That is a problem in the gameplay, not a problem in the gacha.
It's a problem in the gacha because if you're gonna make a unit useless at 1 out of 5, give the player some. There's like there's a law I like to think with gacha. If you're gonna make a unit useless at 1 copy, make sure that you can do anything at any time in the game whatsoever to make that unit optimal. Make sure there is a way to actually make that unit optimal. No matter what, make sure there is a route to make that unit optimal. If there isn't,
I think Russell does have a point,
then it's
though.
wasted.
Or no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
It's wasted. It's wasted
Um,
potential.
that's definitely one way to fix the problem that we all know is at hand. But at the same time, Russell is right to say that there is definitely a play issue fundamentally, and one way that could be fixed is by making 3 out of 5 features more available. Then another option is to actually rework how the game is actually played. So that works at the heart of like the gameplay mechanics and is the game fundamentally fun and collaborative.
I mean, look at Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and just everyone that looks at the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon says that's a very boring game. It's very repetitive and stuff like that. But people play it because it's randomized. Like you could literally add a randomized battle every single day that we had to face that gives us rewards, rather than just the whole Battle Villa cookie thing. It's
Every dungeon has a good story.
mm, it's just like you can do these things. These things are very easy to do. Like a randomizer on a battle thing would be extremely easy to code into the game because how the game works is they literally have trainers coded into the game and they have Pokemon coded into the game and you can literally just mix and match those Pokemon and trainers at any time. It's just I don't understand how something so simple can be just pushed through the wayside.
I don't think that will be actually good.
I mean, it might not actually be good, but it's a start. It's it's a placeholder for something.
My bad to backtrack. What are we talking about now? I'm kind of confused. You said
Like a
secrets.
random, like instead of having a battle villa type thing where you just go in there and get your 1 star creamy cookie a day, you have a randomized battle that you do every single day.
Interesting. It could either be really, really good or really, really bad, depending on how it's implemented. But yeah, that's interesting to think about.
I mean, imagine one day. This is how I look at it. Imagine one day, just out of some sort of miracle, you have Chris's. No, you have Lyra's Meganium, you have Sawyer's Beware, and you have Dirac's bloody. What does he use again? Oh. Yeah, you have all these like OP sync pairs, and the Discord just goes wild. They're like, "Oh my god, the randomized battle today is insane," and you have player interaction that way.
I guess that's something.
Could be a good one.
I wouldn't play it, but that is something.
Yeah, you generate some buzz. You generate something about the game that's tangible, rather than memes about how bloody Surging Sand 3 Symphony is better than CS2 Symphony or the
Man.
the difference or whatever.
Flex skills on Sync Grid are so bad. Oh, they got that idea.
I would seriously argue that syncgrids are a good thing, but they're not too customizable. There's only 4 or 5 ways you can actually build them. So when people are proud of their syncgrids,
No.
it's kind of yeah. Sorry, someone else has done that, but
Okay, how I would fix the game? I would first have a good story, would reformulate the entire story and make it good, write some good writers and make the story good. If the story is good, the rest is simple. Then the battle system, they could do something like upgrade quests, like for example, a character that isn't actually useful. You do a sync pair story basically, and the guy is useful. On the balance, all sync pairs will be on the same level. Then your favorites will have a niche. Another thing I will do is add resistance and weakness. So head wouldn't be usable in every course because some Pokemon won't resist fire. And then so go on the head. Like it's easy to fix the game, but you don't want to. Like the way they fixed the balance of the system, they made it worse with like skills and sync ingredients.
I would
Totally agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think that, from my point of view, Pokemon has always been about exploration. It's always been about exploring the world, the wide world of everything, the wide world of Pokemon evolution, the wide world of a bond between Pokemon, and the wide world of how strong a Pokemon can get, the wide world of what someone is capable of, the wide world of how the universe was created and stuff like that. And I think Pokemon Masters hasn't explored the wide world. I think Pokemon Masters has stuck itself to Passio completely.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I agree.
then you've got stuffing. Then you've got something like Hooper. Hooper opens up so many possibilities. You could. Can you imagine the Pokemon fan base if you brought in OG Red when he was just a kid? He just started off with his Pikachu. He's just chilling with his Pikachu. And then he meets, say, bloody Suit Red when he's become the champion. When he's trained all his life, he's gone through the Black and White 2 tournament.
The
Like,
problem with that,
they'd lose their mind.
the problem with that is that they don't have direct development. Red is a blend. Is blend. Like he is the badass silent type, and that is it. He has some aspects of Ash, but he isn't that interesting character if you think about it.
But the problem is, when you bring in Hooper, you can bring in time travel. That's the thing. Hooper isn't
Like
And dimension travel
confined.
too.
He isn't
what's
confined.
the what's the difference between start of the journey had and end of the journey had? He had some direct development. That is explored.
But you could literally make a story about Red learning what it means to be what that whole motto is. Words are unnecessary. Like, and then you could create some sort of Pokemon lore, because I don't think people understand just how much Pokemon lore drives the fan base. How much we just latch onto these little bits of lore, these little pockets of lore, and go wild with it.
Yeah, I have an entirety how the universe works in Pokemon that only I know.
It's just
Yeah. Uh huh.
there's so much. Like, you could literally have the way that Red learnt to basically not give their Pokemon any command during battle, and you could explain that during Pokemon Masters, and people would just, and people outside the Masters community be like, "Oh my god, I need to see how a trainer could actually do this." Like, they would just flock to the game.
Yeah, for example, take Giovanni. Giovanni is one of the major villains in Pokemon. What they did in Pokemon Masters, I event and he is good now. What they could have. Imagine a alternate universe campo which Giovanni wins and takes over the region, so the protagonist goes there, interact with game leaders, a leader for defeat Giovanni, and that would be story chapters. And then the second story chapter he goes to Johto, and then go on.
Yeah, like,
There's
that's
there's many story possibilities in Pokemon.
that was a huge part of why people think Johto was underwhelming, because there was no climax to the story. It was literally Goldenrod Tower, and that was it. It was just annoying because, like, after Goldenrod Tower, we're thinking, oh my god, is Team Rocket gonna plan to take over the world with bloody Ho Ho or Lugia? And it's like, no, no, they didn't even
What they
care.
wanted was Giovanni back.
Yeah, like, nobody's like, there was no big friggin' world-ending situation. There was nothing. We're just like sitting there, like, what?
And there wasn't one on Twitter. There was just game leader that take over a city, and that is the story.
Hmm.
That is it.
But
And on Twitter,
But
what's that?
the cool thing I find that you could actually implement it in Pokemon Masters, and it's such a missed opportunity, is drawing from the manga. Like, in the manga, Bruno literally has nunchucks, and he uses those nunchucks to, like, draw his Pokemon out, draw his Pokemon back in, and try and defeat the opponent that way. He literally has an onyx that literally burrows into the ground and shakes the earth, sort of thing, just to like make sure that a Pokemon trainer on the opposing side couldn't fight him properly. Like, introduce something like that.
It's a really good idea, but that's definitely not canon.
But introduce, say, like a instead of like an area of effect, introduce, say, like a what could you call it? A trainer or a trainer, not a trainer move, a trainer effect or something like that. So when Bruno's on the field starts shaking, so you can't raise your special defense, but at all or something like that. Just just something interesting to make the battles more cohesive to the trainer. Like you could have with Red, like that you could use a say for instance, you could use two trainer moves at once instantly because he doesn't have to give the Pokemon commands. It's just easy things like that. Easy things like that. Just it's so simple. And they're already implemented in these other gacha games and stuff like that. Sorry, guys. I had to mute the mic for a sec there.
Yeah, I'm taking my leave. Goodbye.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna head to bed.
oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's been about
absolutely.
it's been about 50 minutes. So, do we have any closing thoughts or?
Honestly, what was said is good enough, in my opinion. Unless anyone else has any closing thoughts.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
Final commentary: the game is bad. They need to fix it or it will die. Simple.
Well,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I really don't disagree with that. I think that if you want to fix this game, you need to do more than listen to the player base. And even looking into the survey, they actually mention stuff that's like, do you really need to be spoon fed this like a baby? Like you're literally saying this stuff, and this is the stuff that the player base would like. It's just, gah, what are you doing? Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They are taking steps to that, but yeah.
do you guys want to plug yourselves or?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, well, plug yourselves means like reference who you are and stuff like that, and
Oh.
where you can be found.
Oh, I'm not on YouTube at the moment,
Oh,
but maybe next time.
okay. Well, I'm Champion Paul on the YouTube, and I'm also Paul on the Discord. Well, Champion Paul on the Discord. I cause a lot of arguments, but I love everyone, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Good guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Really plug. I mean, why not? I think, yeah. So, again, Precious Wally, Discord, and Pokemon Masters Bi-Weekly News, with Precious Wally on YouTube, and that's about it. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Paul, for this. For
It's all
talking
good.
about this.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, I will end this thing right now and have a good one.